coming up on Mountain News this morning. A bill is moving through Kentucky legislation aiming to prohibit diversity, equity, and inclusion in public universities. And protesters were at the state capitol criticizing a new bill they say would harm Kentucky water quality.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. My name is Amelia Lee here with you on this Wednesday, March 5th, and the time is now 5:30, which means it is time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmall for a look at that forecast. Megan, what are we expecting on this first alert weather day?
Well, I'd say today is a pretty wet Wednesday, but also a windy Wednesday. We're not only watching as that rain continues to make its way through, but we're also continuing to have those fast wind speeds throughout most of the day. Here's a look at that live pinpoint Doppler radar. We have the heaviest rains as you're traveling more towards our Virginia counties, seeing a little bit of heavy rain as well for our West Virginia counties, and then light rain for half of our region from pretty much Hazard to the east. Here's what we're expecting in terms of those current wind speeds, seeing 10 mile an hour for Jacksboro, Monticello, and Harlan, 20 miles an hour in Wise, and take a look at those wind gusts because they're even faster. 30 mile per hour wind gust in Jonesville, 26 in Wise, and 32 as you're traveling towards Lexington. Temperatures this morning are as warm as you're pretty much going to get for today. Expect the 50s and 60s for that high temperature around 11 o'clock, but then we'll see those temperatures drop as we're heading into the afternoon hours. A little bit different than what we normally expect to see, right? So here's a look at Wednesday's forecast, seeing a little bit of that sun potentially as that sun rises, but then cloudy skies will take over. We have more rain chances in the forecast today. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. Well, yesterday a House committee passed a bill that would prohibit diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, in public universities. House Bill 4 would give institutions until June 30th to remove all DEI programs. Jessica Umbro was at Tuesday morning's heated hearing following the debate outside the committee room.
Testimony is at my discretion based on time restraints and information already presented.
Chairman Representative James Tipton made it clear from the start of the meeting to keep the discussion on House Bill 4 to 55 minutes. Co-sponsor Representative Jennifer Decker says prohibiting public colleges and universities from maintaining diversity, equity, and inclusion programs would save taxpayers money on what she calls a failed program and make low-income and underrepresented communities more present on campus.
It is quite simply astonishing to me that proponents of diversity still advocate for a system, a DEI system on our campuses that has failed.
While 4 people against the bill did share their thoughts with the committee, the time limit kept some from presenting before a vote.
Having received 11 aye votes and 4 no votes, passes with favorable expression.
But the conversation didn't end there. Students and protesters against the bill addressed lawmakers directly after the committee had wrapped up. They also spoke in front of the Capitol Annex, saying that their voices had not been adequately heard.
We came to urge our legislators to listen to what the students want. But it's clear that those who claim to represent students don't have any intent to hear what we have to say.
One interaction happened just down the hall. 4 college students and Chairman Tipton talked for about 5 minutes, all saying that DEI has made their campuses more diverse and inclusive. They say taking it away will be a detriment.
Topics threatened by poorly defined wording in this bill are only there to loom over students and educators. There's no other way to think about it.
In Frankfort, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
House Bill 4 will now move on to the full chamber, where Chairman Tipton said it is expected to pass. Opponents of a bill that deals with water pollution protested in Frankfort yesterday. Senate Bill 89 would make it harder for environmental officials to regulate water quality. The bill's sponsor is Scott Maiden of Pineville. He says regulators are overreaching and making the state less competitive. But at the River Row Boathouse yesterday, protesters say it will create a serious and detrimental impact on the drinking water supply.
And it's just so heartbreaking with what the Senate Bill 89 will be involved with, especially when it comes to the everyday residents, the taxpayers, the consumers. It is literally going to make it harder for the everyday Kentuckian. The bill still needs a vote in the House.
The U.S. Supreme Court is weighing a lawsuit from Mexico against American gun manufacturers. Justices heard oral arguments in the case yesterday. It started in 2021 when the Mexican government sued top U.S. gun makers for $10 billion. Mexico claims the companies design and market their guns specifically to drug cartels and should be held responsible for violence on the border. Gun rights groups, including the National Rifle Association, slammed the lawsuit. New concerns this morning about a growing measles outbreak. Cases for a disease once considered eradicated, now popping up across several states. The worst outbreak in West Texas, where at least 159 people are infected. In an under-vaccinated community, 22 of those infected were hospitalized, including a child who died from measles complications last week.
Absolutely, you can die from it. You can become deaf, blind, brain damage, have post-measles encephalitis. It's a horrible, horrible illness.
Meanwhile, Health and Human Services Secretary and longtime vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr. appeared on Fox News Tuesday, touting alternative treatments like vitamin A. Doctors say could help alleviate severe cases, but are by no means a cure. The former Letcher County sheriff accused of killing District Judge Kevin Mullins plans an insanity defense. That's according to a new court filing yesterday. Mickey Steins is charged with shooting and killing Judge Kevin Mullins in his chambers back in September. According to the filings, Steins intends to present a defense of insanity. During one of his recent hearings, attorneys discussed the potential for a competency evaluation. No word yet as to when this last motion will be addressed. One Floyd County man was arrested after police discovered he was staying at a home with a child without contacting authorities. Police received a tip about a possible sex offender being at an apartment complex in Martin last week. Police later found Chad Reisner at the home. Reisner told police he knew he was not supposed to be at the home, but claimed he was there since his home was flooded. He was charged with failure to comply with sex offender registration. One person is dead after a head-on crash in Logan County, West Virginia. Crews from multiple volunteer fire departments responded to the scene at around 7:30 yesterday morning. Crews say they found two vehicles heavily damaged along Mud Fork Road and Piedmont Drive, with one person trapped. According to the Verdulin Fire Department, the person was pronounced dead at the scene. No word on the name of the person who was killed. In Harlan County, two bodies were found inside a home. KSP received a call for a well-being check yesterday on Highway 215 in the Kenford community. There, troopers discovered the bodies of two elderly people inside. Both appeared to have been dead for several months. No foul play is suspected right now, but both bodies have been sent to Frankfurt for autopsies. Their names have not been released. First responders are investigating a massive fire in Harrogate in Claiborne County, Tennessee. It burned down a Mexican restaurant and tobacco shop. One person died in the fire. The building existed there for nearly 50 years. The Claiborne County Sheriff says one body was recovered inside the building. Those in the community say they are heartbroken about the situation.
I'm sad. I mean, I didn't get a chance to go in there, still being new to the area, but just knowing that somebody lost their livelihood, that somebody lost, everything, and they have to start over again, it breaks my heart because I can't imagine how hard that is for them.
The Claiborne County Rescue Squad took the body to the Knox County Forensic Center. We still do not have any information regarding that person's identity. In Nelson County, at least 16 people were treated for smoke inhalation after a fire inside a nursing home. Firefighters were called to the Landmark Nursing Home in Bardstown at around 6:30 yesterday morning. The fire was brought under control in minutes and did not get into the attic space of the building. Fire investigators say the fire was caused by an electrical failure inside an HVAC unit. Businesses throughout the region saw widespread damage after the Valentine's Day weekend flood. Now FEMA and the Small Business Administration are on the ground hoping to lend a hand. In Pike County, businesses were hit from the city of Coal Run all the way to the West Virginia and Virginia state lines. And as those business owners work to clean up and move forward, officials with SBA say they are offering low-interest, long-term loans to those who qualify. Representatives with the SBA are set up at the FEMA disaster relief centers throughout the region. And officials say they are not only helping businesses, but homeowners and renters as well.
So, we kind of understand what you all are going through and any way that we can help. So, To date, we've had 119 folks apply for our loans. 88 of those are homeowner loans.
The deadline to apply for physical damage loans is April 25th. The deadline for the economic injury disaster loans, or EIDL loans, is November 24th. You can find more information about that on our website. Appalachian Regional Healthcare opened a new distribution center in Pike County. The ARH Tug Valley Disaster Relief Center is now operating in the Southside Mall, using the former Pebbles department store as a distribution center. The space is offering toiletries, water cleaning supplies, and more from 10 in the morning until 3 in the evening, Monday through Saturday, and 1 until 3 on Sunday evenings. The distribution center at the old JCPenney in Hazard is still open too. We also have more about this on our website, WYMT.com. A new trolley in Hazard taking folks back to the good old days. You can see the new trolley on your screen right now. The city of Hazard debuted this new mode of transportation to drive folks to and from the 14th Region basketball tournament last night.
Definitely healing a part of my inner child, I think. I remember going to daycare and we would take trips on the trolley, and I just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. And so getting to see other kids be able to utilize that and bring that piece of Hazard back that makes us so special is really important.
Fugit says she is excited for more people to have this experience and for a new mode of public transportation in the city. When we return, it's not that ironic. The singer, famous for keeping a hand in her pocket, is preparing to perform in Las Vegas.
Plus, temperatures are dropping today with a snow chance in the forecast. I'll have more up next.